stayed here with our Deadlands campaign. We're on Twitch, like we always are when we're live. Yes. John's computer crashed, everyone, so that's cool. But he has approximately 3,700 square feet of monitor, which is amazing.
Yes.
And, all right. Yeah, so how you guys doing? Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy 2021.
Happy to be back.
Happy 2020 is over.
Yes, I'm absolutely happy, but that's not going to change things, really, in this campaign. Oh. You're all still super fucked, I think, in this situation.
Oh, no, 2020 has definitely changed. Things have changed. Things have changed. We've, I guess we could say we shoved on, but
yeah.
This period of our gaming sessions is going to be the 2020 of campaign.
Yes.
Because we just
it's all uphill from here.
Yes, let's hope so. So as always, I'm really happy we're back. I mean, and that we didn't have to cancel. There's a lot of stuff going on in everybody's lives right now. So I appreciate you guys joining. And I do want to go around and find out. First of all, let's do a beard check. Mike, how are you doing? How was your holiday? How was your New Year's? How is your beard so gorgeous?
Yeah, it was, it's Pantene Pro V, made for me.
Right.
It was really good. It was really good. I got to spend some much needed time with some family safely at home, quarantine 2 weeks before, stayed home after that. But, it was good to see some people that I love. And New Year's was real quiet. Sat at home and played video games with the kiddo and, sort of embracing this quiet life and staying safe. And so
I love
I'm happy to be socializing.
Played video games with the kiddo. That is so cool. I remember that day. Like now I just go get car loans with my kid and have to talk about future plans and stuff. So that's awesome, man. Well, I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad that, that you did the beer jump. Len, what's going on?
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Hello, yeah. Welcome back and Happy New Year's to everybody here. I haven't talked to you guys for a while, but yeah, Happy New Year's.
I know, and you are on vacation, right? So are you doing anything super cool, or are you just kind of hibernating way up in the frozen tundra, or what?
Yeah, I mean, super cool. Basically just working on a lot of projects this week. I just started some online courses for digital art and video game design, so I'm really excited about that. Literally, like my first class was today, and I just have had the most crazy Monday, so I'm actually really excited to just like sit here and like do something recreational.
That's awesome.
And working on a big art commission that actually one of my friends is paying me to do comic sketches for them, so I'm really excited about that. It's a huge project though, and I have like 18 characters to draw and like over the next few weeks, so I'm like, yeah, vacation, as in time to work on projects that aren't just me going to work.
Yes.
So yeah.
Man, well, we're glad you're here. And what is the cat's name? We have to know what's the cat's name.
Oh, this is Nim. You'll probably hear her yelling at me at some points tonight, because whenever I move too much and she has to shift, she gets real mad.
Oh, nice. It's like Dr. Claw's cat from Inspector Gadget or something. Nice. Well, we're glad Nim could join us as well. Having a cute animal on stream is not going to prevent danger or penalties, just to let you know. I've got to be fair. John with a no H. Hey, man. What's going on?
Hey.
Did you really have to hire a realtor to locate that monitor because of its sheer girth?
Yes, I did. It's all about location, and now I can see all the locations at once right here. So
that's great.
Got a new monitor today. Actually, kind of belated Christmas present, but got that. Very excited for it. I've finished my therapy from that we took since last session. So for my PTSD. So we'll see how that goes. This is the first live session since then. We'll see how we all deal with Teddy. I'm very interested to see how that goes.
I have to share with the internet how scared I was when I received the text from Byron that said Dobbs has a plan. That That scared me. So we're going to find out, I'm sure, what that is. Byron, man, how are you doing? And by the way, I want to thank Byron for this little jewel here. So your demise will be brought to you by whatever amount of this I decide to consume. That was kind of you.
Wilderness Trail.
And, it's almost like I live in Ohio. It's like have access to things I shouldn't have access to in Florida, Byron. As the ATF is like, we knew it.
Never.
Yeah. So how are you doing, man? What's going on?
I'm doing wonderful, man. Tell you what, just staying busy with projects. Let me see. I got a month and 2 days, and I'll be celebrating the big 5-0.
Oh, nice.
Working on, I do 28mm miniature wargaming too, in addition to all this fun stuff. So I play bolt action, and so we're doing a big mega battle. I just wanted to have like a game for my birthday weekend, and so we're doing. I don't know if you guys are familiar with The Bridge Too Far, the old World War II movie. But anyway, if you ever see it,
so the one where they blow up the train bridge.
No, that's Bridge over the River Kwai. But anyway, so I put up a little thing for the local game store at my buddy's own, and I figured maybe we'll have 4 or 5 people or whatever. And I have people signed up from like 2 hours away to come, and it's going to be like this massive, like 20 people event, socially distanced, of course.
Yeah, so no one will have at 28mm.
Super.
Will they all have like binoculars trying to watch the action on the table, like from socially distance?
They're not that small. It's not just slightly smaller than like Warhammer guys. But World War II. So fun times. Times had by all. So super stoked for that upcoming, and of course, Knights Black Agents is moving along.
Is that right?
Guys had some fun stuff with that.
Yeah.
And we'll be streaming that on the 19th for folks that looking for that information coming soon.
Yeah, and I must say, you were kind to my character. You didn't punish me too much, I don't think. So I notice I'm laggy. The Zoom is being bad to me, so that's going to get weird here in a second. But if I sound like I'm stomping all over what you're saying, I'm not trying to. It's just Zoom's being bad. So
you're not. Yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah. So I think a couple announcements, I guess. So our very own Byron has harassed me until I created a Facebook group and a Facebook page. He's going to actually admin that stuff. So, for those of you who are clever and participate on your comments and whatnot, we may send you an invitation. It's going to be a private group so that we don't get a bunch of weird perverts in there. Or if you're a weird pervert, you're there by invitation. That's cool too. So, we're fine with that. Just don't share videos. So there's that. That's really cool. John has volunteered to start ripping the audio out of all 5,000 hours of our game sessions, and he's going to create a podcast. So there will be Myth Brigade podcast coming up here soon.
Nice.
So we're taking over the damn world, which is pretty cool. Len has volunteered and is in development of a fantastic campaign idea that she sent me, and I wanted to say it out loud on stream. Hell yes, I'm in. That sounds really good. So let's get to recruiting. I'm not going to share any details, but it's going to be really cool. So I look forward to having yet another DM in this case, but someone running games on the channel. And I think that's all the stuff I have to say. We've got followers on YouTube. We've got a Twitter. There's an Instagram with a picture of me in a cowboy hat that I will take down after this episode's over because people know me, and that's
I got a better picture we could put up there.
No, you wanna? That's fine.
Put it up there.
Shut up, Iron. It's not funny. All right, we're gonna go with ambient desert music. It's 3 hours of it as well. So let's start. Let's start that.
Nice.
Well, that sounds exactly like a desert, not music at all, but that's fine. So, you guys ready? Can I get the where's the customary yeehaw? Where's the yeehaw? Where is it? Come on.
Yeehaw! I'm afraid we're a little solemn thanks to the loss of our close friend.
Well,
man, I really missed that beat. Sorry,
we're gonna talk about it. Try it again.
Came in way too peppy,
dude. Yeah, right. Let's get a somber.
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw, boss. Mr. Night. Every goddamn
thing. If I
get
haunted, Teddy.
If you get haunted,
I won't even be mad. Like Nate's the only one that can hear him.
If anybody's getting haunted by Teddy, I think it would be Jahan.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right. Every goddamn thing is all right. At least that's what y'all might have said when danger settled down at Dr. Alexander's place and he got to fixing Ash. You'd found that fella to be peculiar, even for a foreigner, and one look around at his laboratory made one thing clear. I am not a medical doctor. Right about the time that John with an H spotted an odd shape on the horizon that would turn out to be none other than an airship, courtesy of them nasty varmints Buck and Chuck Futley. Of course, this led to the realization that the posse would not remain safe if and they was to stay put. So they did what every brave frontiersman or frontierswoman would do and hightailed it straight into the basement and down the hatch affording access to fresh running water below. Oh, and they splashed around there in the tidal pool, kind of like kids playing in a trough in the summertime. Looking around, they knew there was only one next step, and that was to hop into the running water and let it wash them to who the hell knows where. You know, I normally don't invite others to help me complete the monologue, but I just thought it would be fantastic to go ahead and ask John with an H, why don't you tell us exactly what the fuck happened next?
Well, one of our companions, Teddy, was taking a little bit to jump in the water, and after a playful shove, I want to clarify that, playful shove by John with an H, Teddy didn't quite make it. Well, he made it out the other side, just not alive.
So that's the long way of saying John killed Teddy, ladies and gentlemen. John pushed Teddy down what I would describe as the devil's log flume ride. And he bumped around and his little head just went back and forth until his neck was mighty crooked. Well, Nate was down at the bottom, and Nate caught old Teddy. And Nate, why don't you tell me, what did that look like when he shot the hell out of that there flume? His limp corpse just a splashing down.
I thought he was fine. It wasn't until he got to the water, or to the water's edge, that I realized Teddy wasn't breathing.
And that is because John did, in fact, kill Teddy. Now, we're not in a court of law. We should be thankful for that. We're down here right now. We're down here underneath in this cavern, right? Where this sort of flume comes spitting out. Dobbs, what are you thinking?
Dobbs think it just ain't real. He's come back. He's just taking a nap.
Oh, his neck's all crooked. He's shaped kind of like an L. His head's flopping around like a dolly that's kind of lost its spine.
That happens sometimes. Every now and then, guy has to go against the hangman's noose, and I've seen a man not die before.
Could be, as his head flops and bobbles around as you're moving him around. And Ash, what about you? So you, of course, saw Teddy coming out, and we're coming back into this moment, right? Where's your head at as you see them all gathered around dead Teddy?
Yeah, I think that Ash is having one of those moments where the cigarette's just kind of hanging out the side of the mouth, and she's kind of watching, being like, huh. Just really, like, taking in the gravity of the situation and, like, kind of looking around the cave. And then, like, I feel like she's kind of, like, looking around, being like, this can't be real, because she's still, like, coming back down, I think, a little bit from the Ghost Rock high. She was in a pretty good mood after she got her arm fixed, and now, like, it's really setting in. She's just like, nah, that ain't right. This ain't right. That ain't right. And she's still kind of, like, coming back into that, being like, I don't know.
You got that cold water in the bullet wound, right? And now it's nice and stitched up, and you're in okay shape from that perspective. And you got your kind of wounds are fine there. But yeah, it's definitely surreal. And you're down here. What you see kind of off to the side is there's this little dip in the cave where you can kind of duck down, and it seems to open up into a larger chamber. But first, I would love you guys to give me a notice roll, please. And this soundtrack is dead to me, so I'm gonna keeps restarting itself and then playing some sort of weird It's almost like a farting noise in the background. Maybe that's my computer. I don't know. Sorry, stream, if you're hearing that. There we go. That sounds obnoxious enough. Notice rolls. All right. Damn. Almost at the same time, in particular, Ash and John. John, you're kind of back, right? And you're just watching this as you realize what you've done. And you feel horrible about it. And Ash is kind of back taking it in. You know, Nate's still cradling Teddy, and of course Dobbs is there. Just, he's going to be fine. Just straighten his head out a little bit. He's kind of wagging his head back and forth. And you notice a couple things that are a little weird here. First of all, there's a rib cage that looks like it's kind of crunched against the rock there toward the back of this area. You notice some things kind of floating around. Trash mostly. But the rib cage really stands out. You got little bits of spine, right? Kind of there. The whole body's not there. But it's very, very, most definitely a human rib cage. Teddy's not.
It's not something that would have like naturally come out and gotten lodged there. Like it looks like it was moved out of the water, right?
It looks like, yeah, like it might have expired there, maybe. But with your high notice check,
I
Golan?
I was just gonna say I kind of like nudge John a little bit, and I gesture over to the rib cage and I say, "Well, it looks like we weren't the first ones to drop down the chute, courtesy of the old doc, huh?"
Yeah, I'm shaking my head. I'm like still trying to rationalize like what happened, and now I'm seeing another body there, and it's like, okay. So I'm going to walk over toward it just to kind of distract myself from Teddy's body lying behind me and investigate it further.
I will remind you that you also, I think, were in possession of the finger of Nicodemus, which was the skeletal arm that as you are walking away from Teddy, it is straining to point behind you, right? So
it's a constant reminder.
Yes, it's a constant reminder. So you walk over to this rib cage, of course, kind of forgetting for a moment about what's going on behind you, the sort of grief-inspiring thing. With your high notice checks, I'd say that you both pretty well noticed this at the same time. These bones have been gnawed at, like a dog gnaws at bones thrown to them after dinner, splintered on the edges, and it looks like it possibly. The sort of trauma around the shoulder looks like the arm was torn loose, more so than maybe just decay. Something's been eaten.
Are there any tracks around it?
It's up out of the water, right? Like it's kind of hanging on the edge, so there's really nothing to leave tracks against. Okay. It's like he might have pulled himself up, and then something happened. You're not entirely certain what that might be. Now, Dobbs and Nate, you're there cradling Teddy. And there's, as I mentioned, blood coming out of his nose and his mouth, and it's just fanning out into the water, dissipating. And it's not but a few minutes as you're there, and, they're kind of off looking at that, and you're just talking to each other like, oh, what happened to Teddy? Oh, he's not coming back. Look at him. He's dead. When you hear in the distance this deep, inhuman echo off of the walls of this strange cave. What do you do?
Nate's first thought is going to be to look for whatever just made that sound, right? And I imagine with the echoing everywhere, it's really hard to pinpoint exactly where that came from. But Nate's a survivor, and his very first thought is like identify where that just came from.
Yeah, so I'll let you make a notice check and see how accurate you are with that. And Dobbs, what about you? So that was no bear. That's the first thing that comes to your mind. You're like, oh, that's not a bear.
I'm like, Nate, I think you better get the others and get out of here. We can't be losing nobody else today. I think I might have to hold this thing off, whatever it is.
He says darkly. I like it. Yeah, it could have been a drop.
Did John Did John and I also hear that? I assume,
absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. It is pervasive, that sound through here. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm in the process of trying to see if any of my gunpowder's not completely waterlogged. Like I'm trying to load up the pistols.
Yeah, so you've got I would guess that you would have sort of some waterproofing, some sort of primitive waterproofing on your powder, and you should be fine there. Your bullets should pretty much be okay. You've not been down here for too long, so you take your somewhat waterlogged pistol, hoping that it will work. What I'm going to tell you guys is that until you dry your gear off, a 2 or below on a natural roll is going to constitute a critical failure to shoot because of the equipment that's wet. But Dobbs is fine. Your fists seem to be okay, man. So let's see. Nate, your notice. Why do I have 2 rolls there? I got a 7. Which one should I look at?
The 7 was the first.
Oh, the 7 was the first one. Okay,
so
it's a 5. Yeah, I think
the second one was the one I just re-rolled.
Okay, so you're going back again. So the water again. You come out of this flume and it kind of pools out into a wide tidal pool, and then gently rolls out underneath this kind of overhang. And it's as if maybe this river is going under the rock and maybe opens up into a larger chamber. The sound is definitely coming from in that chamber somewhere. Sad thing is, it's the only way to go.
I reckon you guys better stay close. Sounds like there's something real big in here with us.
Well, how are we gonna solve that problem? And I just point towards Teddy, and I'm keeping my gun trained on the tunnel, but kind of point back to Teddy. Can't just leave him here.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but we need to bring his body for more than just the proper thing to do. And I kind of hold up this hand that's pointing at him and saying, I hate to say it, but he's our map still. So I think all we can do is push forward, keep it slow, and hope for no more accidents. I kind of even wince when I say that word.
And every time you move that damn hand, it points toward him, right? The finger follows him as he moves it around, says, we gotta do this. There's more sound. There's movement out there. It's like a wet, slapping echo. There's not another loud yet. But if you listen carefully, you can sort of hear this breathing, this sound.
Right, Dobbs, you grab Teddy, yeah? You're the only one strong enough to carry him, yeah? So I'm gonna go ahead and take point on this one, because my guns are ready to go, and we can't stay here.
All right, I got him.
So Dobbs,
John,
you scoop up Teddy. How do you carry him?
I'll be right on your shoulder.
How do I carry him?
Yeah.
Does it really matter?
Maybe.
I guess I'll put him over my shoulder.
You scoop him over your shoulder. Okay. So, yeah, this is true. Yeah. You abuse him. You bang him around because at this point he's just like a kill from the hunt.
Can't really hurt him.
Yeah. And he, his head lolling around. You bang, bang, bang him. You fling him over your shoulder now. And, of course, you'll be hindered carrying him.
Trying to keep him safe didn't do any good.
So how do we go about this? So, Ash, Nate, John.
So I think Ash is kind of first. I'll be basically right on your shoulder. I would say watching, maybe the right, and Nate, if you want to get on the left or behind us. I mean, your call. You kind of.
Yeah.
I don't want to make decisions right now.
Yeah. Right. Hey, keep your hands off. Nate is, half a body's length from those two, more so close to Teddy and Dobbs. Maybe because he wants to be close to Teddy, or maybe he just wants to be close to the biggest dude in the room.
Fair enough. So you move forward. So Ash, you have to stoop down almost to the point where your chin's in the water and your guns are up next to your head to get underneath this rock formation. It's very rough, and as you look, they're like little spiders and weird shit moving around, and the water's kind of moving past. It's kind of a cool spray. And just as you thought, about 10 steps in, it starts to open back up into a sizable room. And on the far end of this room, you see a little hint of daylight, like a little mushroom cap shape of daylight that indicates that this probably exits out into the open. Sad thing is, standing in between you and that is the most fucked up thing you have ever laid eyes on so far. It appears to be a patchwork of people parts. It is part metal plating. It has some extra arms here or there, stitching. You have no idea where the hell it came from. You can probably guess that it didn't grow here naturally, but it almost immediately looks at you, and with these huge knobby teeth, and just starts running your direction. What do you do?
Immediately starts firing at it. I'm just like, hell no, not today. This is absolutely nope. Just shooting.
You will get a free action here, and then we will get into seeing if Roll20 is going to make its dex work the way it's supposed to. So go ahead and give me your attack roll, please.
Okay. Oh, I just rolled damage. Whoop. Hold on. I'm sorry, my thingamabob is not working.
I'm dealing cards.
Shit.
Only letting me roll
shit.
damage.
Oh, so
Whatever it's
Really
doing,
good damage,
it's
though.
look, if you look at your character sheet real quick, so for those who don't know, we'll edit this out in the final, but there's like a checkbox next to your weapon where you can select what it rolls, and there's like roll damage only, or you can choose to roll both. I will let you keep your scary damage roll if you want.
Well, the question is, do I hit it? And that's what's...
Yes.
Ah, there it is. Hold on. I got it. There we go. There's the actual attack roll.
Nice. So you rolled a 1 on the wild die, you rolled a 4. So that's actually, as this thing is running forward, it's larger, and you kind of hone in, just kapow, you crack it. And you do hit it sort of right in the center mass. And you hear this kind of ching as it hits one of these metal plates that seems to have been kind of stitched to hold the parts together. And one of its arms just kind of starts flapping, almost like old, what the hell's your horse's name? Murph, almost like Murph's leg. It just starts falling limp, and it just it does take damage, but it is bounding toward you, and it does not, in fact, seem to be shaken. So it just keeps right on a trucking. How do you react to that? As you shoot it right in the center mash, and that'd take a grown man down.
Yeah, I just go, oh, hell no, and I try to dive out of the way.
So she brushes to the side, and John, you sort of see this thing, and Dobbs, you get your first glimpse of sort of, think of it as like from the sternum down. It's nude, and it's been stitched together in all kinds of crazy ways. I'll let you take that where you want, but some sick fuck made this thing, clearly. Like, think Frankenstein, the guy who's a necrophiliac pervert. It's awful. Running toward you. What do? You got Teddy.
I think y'all gonna have to get Teddy out of here. I'm gonna have to handle this. It's gonna have to be up close and personal.
Yeah, so Nate's got his eyes locked on this thing, right? And Dobbs is right here within arm's reach. And he doesn't even stop breaking eye contact with this thing. Go, yeah, Dobbs, you go ahead and take care of that. And he just sort of helps Teddy off his shoulders.
Yeah.
So that Dobbs is free to go attack this thing.
So yeah, Teddy just
and
sort
I'm
of
just gonna
slumps over.
take my hands. Oh.
No, go ahead. Yeah, Teddy slumps over, and you're free to act.
I'm just going to take my hands. I'm just going to kind of like push. Are we standing in water, like up to waist?
At this point, you're ducked down, right? So you're under. There's like this overhang from about here up, and it starts to get better on the other side, right? Which is why this thing can be standing. So you've got to take about 10 steps forward before you can stand up. up until then, you're kind of, you could go under and swim.
Okay.
Right?
So we could see this thing on the other side.
Yes, you can see about that much.
So I'm going to go under the water and try to come up underneath this thing and do my version of Jaws.
Are you a swimmer? Are you a talented swimmer?
I'm an athletics. I got some athletics.
Let's have it. Do you have combat swimming? Is that a skill?
If there is such a thing, I have it.
So you dive past John,
I have athletics.
So John, you were up there with Ash. So he's diving and swimming. While he's giving me that roll, what are you doing? Go ahead and give me an athletics roll, Brian.
I mean, I saw what happened to it even with Ash's powerful shot, but I mean, I don't know much else. I'm going to shoot it too and hope a couple shots will do something against it.
Yep.
See.
I'd like to spend one of my 2 bennies.
All righty, you do it. Spend away.
And I rolled the exact same.
Oh my God, how is that even possible?
Amazing.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Okay.
It's going to be a good day.
So, Dobbs, you go diving in. Now, this isn't quite a critical failure, but you sort of, I guess you overestimate, right, the depth of the water that you're sort of plunging forward into. And you literally plunge right into a stalagmite, just kind of, and come up with a bit of a gasp. And sort of stagger. You don't take any damage, but you more, instead of coming up underneath it like this, like Rambo or something, you kind of stagger toward it, but you do close the distance. You're going to take a -1 to this attack. It's not a persistent penalty, but you're a little disoriented. John, give me your shot roll as that's happening.
So the attack was the 5 for the wild dice above.
Oh, okay. I see.
Damage would be the 6.
Nice. So
what should be factoring the -1.
So I'm gonna real quick. So Nate, what are you doing to try to take advantage of that skill?
Oh, I wasn't. I was literally trying to click it to read it, and it linked it. That was not
okay. No, I was gonna say, because that would be helpful here, because I would let Dobbs shake it off. But all right, so John, you shoot, and you absolutely hit it, and yet again, boom, it shoots it in it kind of center mass toward its abdomen. It punctures, and this sort of weird greenish fluid just kind of comes out. Like it's moist on the inside or whatever, but it does not fall over, particularly not after Ash's shot. It keeps coming and seems very intent on really, as it kind of takes 2 steps forward and kind of looks down and sees Dobbs sort of staggering toward him. So it actually will stop and react to that. So Dobbs, tell me, what are you trying to do with this fighting roll of 7?
Lift it up out of the water.
It is just too heavy. You grab it by one of its crotches and its collarbone and it's just too damned heavy. It's got metal parts and people parts, and maybe, is this a turtle or something? You don't know what the hell contraption it is. I will let you choose a different result after trying to lift, because you're in melee with it now. You try to lift. Think about it. You try to lift.
Standing in the water, swimming in the water.
It is standing in the water. You would gather it's probably just a little over its knees at this point. The water kind of shallows out and moves more into kind of a puddled cave sort of situation. Lots of mushrooms and lichen and whatever.
Is it a biped or a quadruped?
It is a biped as far as what it walks on, but it does seem to have other appendages that may have been legs. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna try to take its knee out.
Okay. So, how do you
want to roll a d8 to see which knee you hit?
Nice.
I'm sorry?
So go ahead and give me your fighting damage as you try to take that knee out. Wow. Bonus. Jeez, guys. So you basically lean into this thing, and it destabilizes it a little bit. He'll be able to soak it and again, he doesn't really have bennies to spend. He is shaken and sort of grappled by you at this point. So you kind of grab that leg and shift it, and he kind of moves outward. And now all of you guys are going to get a +1 to hit him, as he's not really, but a critical failure, you are probably going to hit Dobbs. You know this to be true as you're aiming, and you've got, as so often you do, Dobbs in the way. So Roll20's deck is still saying I'm out of cards, even though it's set to endless. So I'm going to do, for now, I'm going to follow the order that I have in the overlay, while I secretly get angry that I didn't bring playing cards out here. Nate, what do you do? So you've got Teddy. You see this just chaos is erupting. A couple shots fired. Dobbs has got this thing by the leg. What do you do?
So I've got Teddy, and I'm just feeling his broken bones sort of rubbing and cracking together in his limp body as he's half floating, half being dragged through the water. And I'm moving real slow, trying to get him out of the way. I'm very thankful in what Dobbs is doing and keeping this guy off of me. And so what I would like to do is I would like to give him a Benny as my my action per game.
Yep. Okay.
And so I yell over to Dobbs and I say, Dobbs, we're all counting on you, buddy. Don't let him go.
You feel the power
of
Nate. I love that. I got him. He's got it by the leg. I got him, Nate. Watch. He's got at least a good 6-7 inches on Dobbs. But Dobbs is a lot less gross and dead, so he's got that. Ash, you are up next. So what do you do?
I'm going to try and put as much distance between myself and this thing as possible while heading towards the light. So I want to try and just like completely skirt around the where Dobbs is holding it down. So I'll use all of my movement to just get the heck out of there. And then once it's kind of back is to me, I'm going to try and shoot it in the back.
Nice.
Not hit Dobbs.
Okay.
aim high.
Yeah, so you give me an athletics check, and let's see if this is parkour, or if it's more like an episode of Jackass.
Parkour in this game too?
Yeah.
We have parkour in this game too?
Can I use agility, or is it actually athletics?
You can, if you don't have athletics as a skill, you should have some form of athletics, right? I think everybody.
I am unskilled in athletics.
Is that true? Isn't that a core skill?
I think that's a core skill.
Yeah,
so
it's been so long since you played. Yeah, it should have at least a D4. Yeah.
Okay. Then I will roll this, and then it says -2, but I'll do so result I'll add 2, and then I'll fix my sheet.
Wild die. Look at that.
You won.
So it's not quite parkour. It's kind of like slip and hurt your knee, but still look good doing it kind of movement, and you don't lose your cigarette. You just you scramble out of the water using this kind of collection of stalagmites to brace yourself and find a path around. So with your full movement, you will not be able to kind of act on this. But as you move around, this thing's back is wide open, Ash. And it's got some kind of weird pulleys and shit moving. You can barely see it in the glint of the light that's coming. But you see that damn glow of ghost rock inside it. It's a machine. It's a robot, in your parlance. So you see that, at which point, John, you see Ash just kind of, she's like, fuck this. She's out of the water and around the corner. What are you doing?
And from my angle, can't tell it's a robot at all, right?
Not at all. It looks like
she can see the back. Okay.
Yeah, it looks like Frankenstein's monster if H.R. Giger designed it. It's gross. Yes.
Gotcha. I'm going to continue kind of moving almost the opposite way. So if Ash is going clockwise, I'm going kind of counterclockwise around it, trying to kind of circle it towards the light. And I'm going to take a shot as well and try not to hit Dobbs.
Okay. So you skirt off to the left, in my mind's eye, like Ash went right, Could be the other way around if you saw it differently. But so you move off to the left using your movement to kind of give you a better angle. So I'm going to say still with a critical failure. So Snake Eyes, you will still hit Dobbs, but otherwise you should be fine. Give me that roll.
Okay.
There it is. So you pull up your Peacemaker and shoot. And this time, you actually wing it.
Does that get bonus damage because of the raise?
That just provides it there. Yeah. Yes. So you basically, and I think Ash got a 13 earlier, right? Gonna have to power bomb him. You're damn right. Where the hell is Brent with the C4 and the drone? So you kind of come around, you take a shot and actually hit it right in the noggin, like the sort of back of its head, and there's this loud thong and some sparks. Like, it's got a metal skull, you think to yourself, and its head shakes, and it does almost like a cartoon-esque, it's like in its mind's eye, you could say it probably says reloading or some shit like that, right? Like it's like, oh, you have stunned it for a moment, which brings us to Dobbs. Dobbs, suddenly, it was rooted in the ground and resisting you, and suddenly it loosens up a little bit. What do you do?
Well,
he's like, well, let me tell you what I did.
Loosens up a little bit. I got its leg. So, Ash, did you say anything about the back of it or anything, or just nothing?
Yeah, that's a free action.
I mean, I probably would have shouted, "It's a robot!"
Might have heard the metal bullet too hitting the back of his head. You're like right there. It's like, gong.
Yeah, I'll give Dobbs a smarts check.
I'm gonna see if I can. A smarts check? Oh yeah, I have to roll this. Come on, man.
Watch.
That's like
Watch,
the
he'll
best
roll a 50
ever for Dobbs.
Yeah.
Watch.
Damn.
So
double raise.
Fighting.
It's like this.
Play the game.
Wow.
We need to cue like Triple H's music right now.
Yeah. So you remember the Scorpion, and you remember it had machinery inside it, and you remember grabbing the machinery and ripping that shit out. You didn't know what it did, but the Scorpion stopped moving. What do?
Well, I'm gonna try to do like a little, like it's right in front of me, right? I got its leg.
You've got its leg.
I'm gonna try to basically step inside its arm and come up behind it.
Okay.
And then I'm not sure if I see what's going on from behind.
Give me that agility. Give me an agility check or athletics check. I'll let you use.
I'll try to interact with its interior parts. I will spend that wonderful Benny that Mr. Nate.
You hear Nate? We're counting on you.
Counting on you.
There it is. The wild die saves you. So you literally,
there it is.
like a slow-mo camera movement, right? When you step in there. And you look in this thing's back, and there's these piston rods and things moving and all kinds of weird brass gears. And in there is a cylinder that's glowing just like that damn ghost rock thing did inside the head of those critters that you fought in the middle of the desert.
Well, looks like I got your heart, brother. And I'll reach in and I'll grab a hold of the ghost rock and just rip it out.
Yeah, give me your fighting roll. Success will mean that you actually grab that and you do. Wow. All right. I was going to say if you fail, then your hand's going to get mangled by the machinery.
I'm sorry. I was still taking that -1.
That's, well, you get it. You get your hand around this. You feel this. It's a thick glass cylinder. And give me your damage, please, for your fighting.
Aw.
Yeah. So you can spend bennies if you need to.
I got one left.
You do. Down on
this might be it, man. I might have to do it.
Yeah.
That's better. Ain't that crazy.
Nice. So you reach in and you start to pull, and it kind of shakes a little, and you just, and there's a sudden. Okay, so from the front of this thing, Nate, more or less over John's shoulder. Ash, you've got a great view of Dobbs. You see this, his shadow just, there's this green flash of light. John, you see Dobbs. There's the monster form. He shoots back a good 15 feet behind this thing and sprawls out in the middle of the floor, the middle of the cave floor. So you're going to be shaken by that impact. You just, and you hear the tink of the glass. You don't know where the hell you are or what just happened, but you've got that thing and it's smoking and there's a little lightning playing on it as there would be in one of these scenes. And this thing's just standing there looking stupefied. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna keep shooting at that thing.
You just skip.
I don't trust them.
So, yeah. What about you, John? So you're right in front of this thing. It's.
Yeah, I'm gonna be moving towards the light, calling for everybody to move towards the light. Which now it sounds bad that I say that way, and shooting at it. Like, I'm taking Ash's lead on this one. So we're gonna fill it full of lead if it's not already.
So I picture the two of you running on opposite sides of it, almost shooting back and forth toward each other. But you're so practiced at this that the bullets are flying. You're hitting it, and it's standing there, just sort of teetering. And Nate, its one eye that you think was still functional, it kind of turns and locks on you, and it just goes into the water. Out. Kind of like Teddy. What do you do? Mike's like,
well, now I'm gonna hug Teddy. Too soon. Yeah. So Nate's sort of got Teddy. He's not quite cowering, but he wants to make sure everything looks okay. And he's gonna look over at Dobbs and see he's face down on the cave floor. But did he land like in a pool of water, or was it more like on like a harder surface?
So it was enough to prevent terrible damage after a flyback that far. The sudden release, he's ruptured. Dobbs wouldn't know this, but there was a major release of energy, shot him backwards. He landed on his ass, sprawled out in a sort of a shallow pool. Okay. Splash, kind of banged himself up, scuffed himself up a bit. His hair is standing up all kind of strange. I got you. I pictured him more like face down. I want to make sure he's not like no drowning.
So all right. So Nate's going to look for Dobbs.
Yeah. So in this moment, Dobbs,
come on, shake it off, big guy. We got to go.
You've never felt anything like you're feeling right now, right? When you hit the ground, your whole body is just infused with this ghost rock energy, and you're thinking for a second, maybe you're about to see God, but then you see Nate. Lean over.
Teddy.
No.
See Teddy.
Yeah, you see Nate.
Is that you, Jesus?
Jesus, I didn't know you was a man of God. Get up. We got to go.
Damn near better ride than I ever had. That thing almost kicks as hard as Murph.
So you extricate yourself from the puddle. You've got this. You squeeze this thing so hard, you ape of a person, that you crack the glass when you pulled it out. So whatever energy was in there is just expelled. John, I think you're probably closest as you're moving along. Just give me a quick notice roll. Gee, you notice he sees everything, so you know everything. So
really alert after that
it's that
mistake.
Monitor.
I'm not making another mistake.
So you notice on the back of this thing, right? Because it's face down. There's a plate on it. It looks like it's got writing on it. You can't read it from here, but it's kind of like a plate that manufacturers put on things like wood burning stoves or you name it. Like, you're kind of walking along.
I reload my revolver, and then I will walk up very cautiously with the gun pointed at its what's I guess left or resemblance of a head, and kind of like trying to read it from a distance, is trying to keep as far away as I can, but we'll move in until I can read it.
Well, that notice check too, the one thing you notice as you're approaching it is like the grouping of the shots from Ash's side is pretty fucking spot on. It's like ding, 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 ding in its head from that side. It says Alexander Automatons, because you don't know the word automaton. It's just not a thing. Automatons. Automa. You don't know. It doesn't say robot. And it looks like this thing was made about 2.5 years ago.
Okay, so Dr. Alexander maybe wasn't such a nice guy after all.
It's a flashback scene.
So I kind of read that, and yeah, I kind of read it out loud, kind of loudly, and be like, I kind of look at Ash. So, when you were with Dr. Alexander, what did he do to you exactly?
Well, I look at my arm, and I'm like, well, I think he fixed it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I think he fixed this guy too, so I don't know what that means exactly, but maybe we should be careful around here.
I fully stop what I'm doing, and I get a little bit too close to your face, and I put a hand on your shoulder, and I just reek of cigarettes and moldy water, and I'm so upset. But I look you in the eye and I say, now John, are you trying to tell me that thing is the same, the doctor made that thing?
I mean, I'm not sure what the second word is, but it says Alexander. That was, we were led to believe, at least, Dr. Alexander, and he wasn't no doctor of medicine.
Right. No. I think the reason I'm asking you so clearly is because I'm a bit worried that he sold us out. And I'm asking you, John, do I have to climb back up that shaft and put a bullet in his head? Because I will.
I was going to say, I was very confident when he told me, so I'm just trying to think back. But no, I saw the look in his eyes, and he was a man set on his fate, and he knew what was going to happen. I don't have any belief that he would have turned traitor on us. He was going to take them down with him, if anything. He wouldn't have given me this damnable thing if that was the case.
Shit, I don't like any of this. And I look back towards Nate, who's presumably still holding dead Teddy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of dragged him closer. It's awkward, right? I've got a literal dead body, and moving him is physically painful to feel his bones and everything broken apart, and his neck is not quite. Just fucking trying to get his head straight. So I'm there, but not. I'm not sitting in the corner anymore. I'm just kind of making my way back.
Yeah. Does Dobbs look like he has recovered from his trauma?
Yeah, his face is probably all smoke soot covered. I just picture his hair is all every direction.
Like Chevy Chase in Modern Problems. Yeah.
He says, wait a minute. He goes, I think I got an idea.
Oh, no, I don't like that phrase coming out of your mouth, Dobbs.
No, wait. Okay, let's think about this. So we was gonna take Teddy and use the map so that we could get to Ghost Rock, right?
Right.
But now, and the Futleys want the map so they can get to Ghost Rock.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we let them do the work for us. We give them Teddy.
I kind of turned back to the other two, pretty surprised.
Yeah. I lock eyes with Ash, there's no fucking way.
No, look, think about this. We give them Teddy, and then we follow him using the finger of Nicodemus.
I think I'm looking back towards Nate with a shocked expression, because that's actually a really good idea. And
then we do one of them train robbery things and take the shit from them.
I can't tell if that is the dumbest idea I have ever heard, or if that's damn near brilliant.
My only concern, I think this idea has merit. Although, do we know if they need the finger of what's they call it 2?
No, they was going to use it to find Teddy. But if we give them Teddy, they might have never seen the finger of Nicodemus because they was coming to get it from the doctor. We can use it.
Were they coming to get it though in addition to Teddy?
I don't think they knew he was here.
They didn't know Teddy was here.
We had him. They had no idea. I think Dobbs really hit it on the nose this time.
And they don't know we got it.
My question though is, why is there a finger of Nicodemus at all unless they need it to read the map?
Well, I don't know, John. Why is that dead boy over there a map at all? Why do I have a bullet wound? And what
Why
the
is that map over there dead, John?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things that have happened in the past 24 hours or so.
It's like 4 hours.
Time with a lot, yeah.
But if we just give them Teddy, then they won't need to kill us.
How do you suggest we give them Teddy though?
While they're conversing about this, can I look towards the entrance to see if there's like does the river like wash out at all? And like,
it does. It absolutely does. So it sort of gets more gentle as the passage widens and then seems to just kind of go out into the daylight, out into the desert. So without exiting, you can't tell a whole lot just because the way it kind of the land actually dips. But yeah, it absolutely exits right there.
Yeah, so I think when John is like, well, how are we going to give him Teddy? I just kind of like look outside and then look back. And I'm just like, we could just leave him. Wait until they find him, because presumably they're still looking.
Yeah.
But it's a chance if they don't know we came down here. I mean...
I'm still stuck on why is this finger a thing unless it's needed?
It's so they could find Teddy because they didn't have Teddy.
I'm making a note. That is the episode title. Why is this finger a thing? Thank you, John.
But they didn't. So you think once Teddy went missing, they had the doctor make it to find him? Because it's pointing directly at his parts.
Right.
I think the finger is to find the map. The map happens to be on Teddy.
Wow.
I hold it closer to Teddy and kind of run it up and down his body. And
we're trying to piece this whole thing together, right?
I'm correct in
pieces.
I'm correct in that the finger continues to point towards his nether regions. Correct?
Can we? I'm gonna pause the music real quick so I can edit. I have to do this because I'm gonna dub in. Let's get it on. Yes, it does. In fact, no matter where, it points to one of the most awkward places ever, which is his nethers. Yeah.
So I believe this was created to kind of like X marks the spot, X something on the map.
X as it is an I, but
yeah, but like marking on the map. So not anybody, for example, Teddy could just look at himself and then find the mine. So I'm thinking if we leave them, they're still going to come after us for this.
As he holds it up, it's
somebody
so
else
awkward.
hold this?
I think as
take it.
I honestly think in honor of Teddy that you should be the carrier of the finger of Nicodemus.
My curse to bear. I will take that. I've earned that.
All right. Now, I'm getting sick of all this shit. And I kind of like pop my bag down. I'm like, if none of you gentlemen are going to do this, then God damn it, I will. And I start undoing Teddy's belt buckle to fucking see what the fuss is about.
So you disrobe Teddy, right? You just like it's like you're changing.
Something I ain't seen before.
Yeah, like you're changing a corpse's diaper. Usually the men you spent time with in this way are a little more lively. Not much, but a little. But you do. And first of all, give me a spirit check.
Oh no.
You haven't gotten to the genitals yet. That's not what this is about. But just as you start to really check out the map. What'd you roll?
Got a 4 and then a 3 on my wild dice.
So the thing that's really crazy, Ash, is you're looking like whatever ink, like the scarification, it's like it's alive. It's raised scars, not so much ink, but it's kind of wants to move a little bit as you're looking at it. It almost blurs out a little. And you do disrobe him. And I'm going to say without real time spent, you're not going to be able to be like, oh, I know right where that is. But it's fairly detailed. But you move things around and check and look. And I'm guessing the way that the camera would see this is the guys are just turned around looking away with their hats against their chests or something. Right? Like, oh, man, that's whew. There's no X. There are obvious milestones.
John, give me that.
Right.
Just like, John, give me that thing. You do the thing.
Obviously stones.
This is depraved and I love it. So you take the finger of Nicodemus and it does in fact, it points to a spot on the very inside of his thigh, up in his sort of crotch area. It's not quite as awful as you would expect me to say it is. It looks like a landform, like a mountain or something. Thanks for the mime there. I appreciate that's nice. That's good.
That's where I thought it was going to go.
Yeah, it's not going to be quite that bad. No, but there is in fact, it looks like a sort of a cave drawing of of a mountain. You're going to need somebody that knows these parts to look at this map. Yeah.
I kind of sigh and cover him back up a little bit, and then turn back to the gentleman. I hand the finger back to John, and I just look at Dobbs. I look at all three of you, and I go, "Anybody got a knife?"
I pull out that big ass Bowie knife.
Perhaps we could make not a rubbing, a drawing of it.
You don't want to make a rubbing? Why not? Why not? Nate, give me a notice check while all this is going on. Just Nate.
A rubbing.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna have to make a sand roll, and there's not even sand in this game.
Spirit. So you're gonna make a rubbing? Is that what's going on?
I'm fixing to cut this bit off, honestly.
This bit.
So the trouble is, Ash, is you.
Does anyone have parchment?
Yeah, everyone has parchment, of course.
Now, Mr. Ivy, I appreciate your delicate sensibilities in this matter, but I'm concerned that if we leave that attached to its owner and he gets found, we might not be the only ones who know the location. So, do you really want to take a rubbing just to preserve your own damn decency?
I mean, I guess I can't disrespect the man any more than killing him, so I guess I don't see another option. I look at Nate and Dobbs like, please
Nate
have a better idea.
Absolutely dumbfounded that you guys are even humoring the idea of desecrating this man.
Like I said, I don't think we need the map. We just need the finger.
This is so
I
disgusting.
think Dobbs' idea has merit, but if and we're not willing to turn him over to the Futley brothers and follow him into the mine, then we should not leave any part of Teddy unattended. Just because we have that small piece doesn't mean they can't piece the rest of it together. Why don't we throw him over the back of Murph and have Murph do the heavy lifting?
Well,
I mean,
number one is we don't know where they are.
There's a few problems with that.
And right then, Nate, is when your notice check kicks in. You look over Dobbs' shoulder, and there is a black cloud rising from over there. Not too far away at the end of the day. Like, you didn't go miles and miles and miles along this river. It's a few hundred yards. Like something exploded kind of thing. You don't see that often, like sort of black billowy. And it's just kind of rising up there. Something's going on back at the compound. Not to complicate matters any.
Nate, he's sort of in this thing like, what the hell are you guys talking about? We can't do that. And he just sort of stops. We got to keep moving. We can't stop here. We are not safe yet. And he's sort of like fingering over Dobbs' shoulder at the cloud behind you.
Hey, Nate, maybe we can find some height and see what's going on. I still got that spyglass.
You do. You have the bag. You do have Ash's bag of God knows what, right? You do
bag of
that.
mystery.
Yeah, bag of mystery.
I guess I think Ash is the type of person who at this point is, especially if Nate points out the smoke, she's not had a good day. She is at her wit's end. I never roleplay like aggressive ass characters like this. So it's weird, but
I love it. Don't stop.
Yeah, I think
It's
she
amazing.
kind of just like grabs the Bowie knife from Dobbs if he'll let her, and then just kind of stands there and says to the rest of you, I'm going to do this unless anybody else stops me, because like Nate said, we got to move.
Maybe for the sake of time, because I think Nate's point has merit. If we leave most of him here, they might be able to piece together the rough location, which then we could be at a disadvantage.
Anybody got matches?
Can just carry him a distance. I know it's going to be hard going, but between the three of us strapping gentlemen, we should be able to at least get him a ways until we can at least rest, maybe out of sight of this mouth opening of this cave, and definitely out of sight of this black billowing clouds.
Nate, give me a leadership check, please. If you are successful, you will pick which of the two opinions prevail. Give you a little value, a little value. If you fail, then I'm going to ask you to be honest and pick the one you wouldn't go with. So don't fail.
Ash, as he's doing this, Ash is like looking around to see if she has like Tinder and or matches, and kind of like she's like standing there with a Bowie knife and then like match.
So which one is leadership?
It would be shit. Let me look at my skill set. Fucking system bouncing around. There. I'm going.
So maybe I'll just
there
insert like a spirit.
Yeah, give me. Give me a spirit check's fine. I'm looking. Under the traits.
Just a straight spirit?
Yeah, that's fine. I guess intimidation would work. You don't have leadership. Winning. Okay.
I have persuasion, which is the same thing.
Okay, that would have been the role actually I was looking for. So if you were fine. So sorry, stream, for not remembering this system, because I'm bad. So you get to pick which of these opinions prevail. You can't inject a third one. You get to pick, because you are observing and like, okay, I got to figure this out.
Sure. We don't have the luxury of making rash decisions. Grab Teddy's arm. Let's get him out of here. We can decide what to do with the rubbing or the cutting or whatever it is y'all want to do later. But we got to get out of here now.
I reluctantly hand the Bowie knife back to Dobbs.
You hand it over your shoulder, and Dobbs is almost expecting it. He takes it back and puts it away.
He puts it away, and
Mr. Nate seems real mad.
I'll just put the Bowie away and scoop Teddy up on my shoulder.
What do you think, Dobbs,
carry him.
about the height and understanding what's going on? You have your spyglass in your hand, like you're like, I got the spyglass, right?
And I'll just hand it to Nate. Like,
sure, we sort of make an exchange.
Like, my idea is just good because it is. Those rocks got me all fired up.
Yeah, so Dobbs has never looked better
Yeah.
with his scorched mark, face and his hair standing all kind of. He's got a bald patch right in the front here. Where, Nate, what do you do?
Picture he looks like the doc on like Back to the
Special
Future.
Looker. Exactly.
Easily the face man of our group.
Nate, what do you do? So you've got this spyglass. Dobbs takes Teddy, limp Teddy.
Yeah, so I like what Teddy or what Dobbs had to say, right? Like get to some sort of a high ground maybe and see if we can get an idea of like what the hell's going on over there. So I've sort of convinced everybody that we could figure out what to do with Teddy later. Let's grab him. Let's get out. I take the spyglass and sort of help Teddy up onto his shoulders, and then I'm looking for anything that may look like either it's going to provide shelter or ideally it's going to provide some sort of height where we can get a good idea of the lay of the land.
For sure. Okay. So first and foremost, you notice the landform that the river comes from, right? There is a rise on either side of that. The river comes out of a cave, right? And the ceiling of the cave that you were just in is the top of the rise that you could climb. So there's quite a lot of height there that you can get to. It's going to take a minute and a little bit of effort to get up there. Is that what you want to do? It's not going to take rolls or anything. It's just kind of like climbing rocks and whatnot.
I mean, can I suggest that to the group and see
absolutely
their thoughts on that?
Sure.
Do it.
Yeah. Dobbs, are you going to be able to carry Teddy up there? If we're looking for height,
I can carry Teddy wherever you want me to carry Teddy, Nate. All you gotta do is say the word, and I got him.
Basically a horse.
We don't gotta break pieces of him off or anything. We could just take all of Teddy. Well, except for his spirit, because that's all gone.
Thanks.
It flew like a dove with just one shove.
Oh my god! I can't wait to hear the googly.
I give Dobbs just like a light smack on the shoulder, just being like, too soon.
I appreciate that, Dobbs. All right. Why don't we head to the top there, see if we can get a better idea of what's going on. Ash, have you looked at what's in that bag yet?
Haven't really had a minute. So, no. I mean, we could check now, or do you want to climb first? Because, like you said, we're burning daylight here, fellas.
Yeah, I'm gonna suggest we kind of come to the rise on the far bank, away from the smoke, and then hopefully we can kind of like check that out, and like crest that, and kind of get even more cover.
Yeah, let's move.
So you do, and again, there's really no rolls necessary. You guys are used to rough terrain. You're used to living out here in this kind of environment. But it does take time to move and make sure that you're not being seen. So you crest the top. You move in between those big cacti and things like that. There's a rattlesnake kind of cruising by, and you get to a point where at the top of the rise, you can kind of take a look at what's going on. So with the spyglass. You get a very clear, albeit a little dirty and hazy and scratched up after this journey. Dobbs, you see, who's using the spyglass? I guess Nate had it last, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got Teddy. Yeah, I've got it up.
So you're looking and you see the walls of the encampment and just fire everywhere. Black smoke is just kind of pouring up into the sky. Give me a notice check. You're going to do that at -1 because you're looking through a spyglass, which confines your view here.
So, okay.
In terms of like
I don't know how to do a
wide lens.
-1. I just take it off the top. So that'd be a 2
or a 5 from the wild eye.
5.
Yeah. So
5 for the wild eye. Yep.
you just sort of kind of panning around, right? Picture the camera and then kind of hazy, whatever. You see two small shapes kind of moving at this point, maybe 500-600 yards off to the right of the encampment. And it looks like there's some other stuff chasing it. You know that. But more importantly, there's just a shitload of men pouring around the wreckage The airship is hovering up there, right? You can sort of see that. The rest of you guys can see it, but it's small. You guys, you've never seen something quite like this, right? They have them in the big city, but this is big blimp with the kind of undercarriage and a bunch of guys with rifles trained, looking down. These men were ready for a war. What in particular do you look for while you're in there? Because I could rattle on stuff that you see.
I think for Nate, his big concern is really going to be, are they following us? Right? So I'm looking for any sort of action that might tell me that they're occupied there rather than maybe chasing us through the tunnels or things like that.
Yeah. So you kind of pan down and think of it almost like that hazy desert, right? That's sort of almost like the mirage from the heat and all that. As you pan down, the mirage clears a little bit. And you're damn straight they're coming this way. There's probably about 15 men. They're not on horses. They're moving and they're looking around. They obviously are looking for something in particular.
I got you. But they don't necessarily know there they are beelining it, but they're spread out, they're searching, and they're heading this way.
Yes. Now, I would...
Sorry.
Yep.
Would I also just be able to to survey the area at all?
You can, and you've got your...
I guess flip down my monocle.
Yep. Absolutely can. Give me that notice check,
because I think... Okay. It would be -1, right?
Yeah, but still, what are you looking to see in particular? What are you looking at with your?
Did you say that there were two people, or there was two shapes moving after something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would guess, Nate, you're probably calling that out. You're not just taking it in, right? You're kind of like, I see this and that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. As you described it, I'm basically describing what I'm seeing. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, so I guess I kind of want to look at that and see what's going on there.
I'm going to wait till Byron comes back from wherever he went, because it's funny. It's not all that funny.
Oh.
It's pretty funny.
I have an idea of what it is then.
Yeah. So as you're two people, what are you talking about? I sort of hand you over the eyeglass, but hey.
Well, she's got a monocle. There it is. So Dobbs is
I love
returning.
this picture of Ash with one monocle and then a spyglass.
So the one that's too long and
you
weird.
Put the monocle on top of the spyglass.
So Dobbs, you've got just to catch you up. I don't know if you could hear that, but Nate basically has been looking for the spyglass.
Yeah, I got it.
Right, you saw that part. Ash has been using her monocle and looking over at the spyglass while Nate checks out the rest of the stuff. Nate, right about this time, you're realizing there are people coming. Ash, you're like, am I seeing this right? Two things. First, you never knew Murph could run that fast. He's running with his normal horse legs, but his back weird one that he drags, he's using it kind of like a weird pogo stick, so he's getting a little bit of an extra nudge forward every walk, right? every stride. And there's some fucking dude in a white leather coat riding on the back of him. And he is, in fact, being chased by other men on horses. And as you watch...
Is it the doc?
You maybe? As you watch, you see him kind of... And now, mind you, in your monocle, he's only this big. So it's like watching a weird little movie. He does this, and then there's this... And you see pieces of cactus and dirt fly up behind him as Murph is running with his weird... fucking floppy leg. How do you see this? What do you do?
Do you describe the guy in the white leather?
Whatever that is.
I absolutely do. I think I hand the monocle over to, I nudge, because Nate still has the spyglass, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I swivel your head over in that direction. I'm like, right there. Is that the doc or what?
Immediately grab the spyglass from whoever as soon as you describe a man in white.
Yeah, so I give that over to John, and then I turn to Ash and I say, "What's in that bag? Open up the bag. What's in the bag?"
Okay. Yeah. And I check out the bag.
Okay, so you're going to start checking out the bag. So John, you succeed with great fervor. What are you trying to achieve? You pull up the spyglass and you're looking. You see what I just described. Right. There's a chase scene.
Okay.
Little explosions.
I know it's far off, but I'm trying to see if I can actually recognize this figure.
So I will tell you with a spyglass, I mean, it could be a different male, but he's wearing a very long white leather coat. So probably, yeah. Okay. It's probably the doctor. And he's kind of hunkered down, and he seems to be running and throwing explosives, dynamite maybe behind him. You don't know, but there's a little behind him as he goes. And obviously they're riding and shooting. Ash. So you open this bag. There's some very strange looking, remember you grabbed things that look like guns. You grabbed vials. There were 2 little wooden boxes in there. What are you looking for? So you see a bunch of brass and metal and sort of steampunky weapon looking stuff. What do you, there's one that's bigger than the next. There's one that's got a really weird shaped barrel. Couple of,
so I know Nate's really excited about having seen the explosions on the horizon. It just gave him the idea of like, do we have any of those green vials the doctor was getting all sorts of excited about while we were sitting in the room? Do we have anything that we can cause an explosion or maybe a distraction with?
Yeah, or like dynamite or just anything that looks like it's a grenade.
So,
Ash, can we make boom boom?
Give me, please, Ash, give me a smarts check as you're looking at this.
Oh boy.
Jesus.
I'm a wise woman.
She rolls a 7 fucking teen. What? Okay, so yes. So the first thing that you notice is that one of these contraptions has got a little bit of a short sort of stock to it. It's got a big revolver, right? Big bullets, and it's loaded with these shells that have this glowing shit in them. There are 6, and they're big. And it's got all kinds of ornate carvings, like think steampunk, right? Like brass and ivory and all that sort of stuff. It's proper, and it's beefy. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger, say the line of the movie, kind of beefy. The other thing that's in there is it's got this falcon head for a barrel. And the falcon's like, because the bad thing comes out of the falcon's mouth is the point. But it seems to have some kind of like, picture like a brass tank with all kinds of brass tubing, but you don't know what it is without pulling the trigger on either case. Then there are 2 wooden boxes. Think these days if you go buy bullets, they come in like a plastic thing. You put a whole bunch of them. There's 24 in each, and there are 2, so 48 in total of these bullets. You'd have no earthly idea, but they would actually work with your peacemakers.
And that's it? Those are the only 2 things in the bag?
Then there are you had some green vials. Yeah, there were 5 mysterious green vials. We don't know what those are.
With that intelligence check, would I be able to piece together that like the green vials of like presumably volatile liquid that the doctor was concerned about? Mm-hmm. Is that the same stuff that's in the big beefy gun?
Yes.
Right. So I hold it up and I just like kind of like look at it for a second, and I kind of look at Nate like, this could work.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
I don't know. I don't rightly know. I'm not trying to risk my life, but we're already in it now, so might as well. I don't know though. What are you thinking? Now you got me worried.
I'm thinking if we can cause a distraction, maybe up on a ridge somewhere, or just get these guys to go in the opposite direction, that might give us just enough time to get the hell out of here.
Which, by the way, that draws your attention back. These guys are approaching. They're not far. You cause a commotion, they're going to notice you, and you probably have 3 or 4 minutes lead time kind of thing. They're not that far away at this point. And they're fanning out, so they're not all right there together.
Did you say? Okay, so did you say there's like 15 of them?
Yes. No, they're not all. They're not all. Yeah, they're not all coming right to your position. But Nate was kind of looking, and he sees 15. There's a couple going that way, a couple going that way. They're fanning out to try to find you guys.
I kind of grabbed Nate and I kind of gestured to the rest of the boys. I'm like, listen, I don't know if now's the time to cause a distraction. What if we intercept the doc, kick the ones out of his tail, and try and just scoop him and run?
The doc is like he's going out away from us, right?
He is.
He's
towards us. He? Oh, I thought he was coming towards us.
He's sort of kind of going along where you think you were heading, and you never. Now, this is the important thing. Murph is running like unnaturally fast. Murph has never run this fast. Never. It's a little creepy. I wish to hell I could animate.
Yeah, my suggestion was going to be Murph will find his way to us. So I'd say if we go the opposite direction, he'll eventually get to us. But
now, Byron,
listen. All I need to know is do I need to fire some shots off right now or no? Because that's what it's coming down to.
I don't think we can take this fight.
Yeah, they're much too close. I think we better just stay quiet and get out of here.
Now, the important thing, Dobbs, sadly, you and Murph are fated. Sadly. You could whistle pretty damn loud.
True. Good. I could try to lead him this way.
Give me a spirit check.
Better.
If you want to do that.
He might not be able to walk, but he can sure hear. What do you think? You want me to see if I can get Murph to come this way?
I don't think
better
we should
to have
draw
a horse to
attention
throw a dead body on.
Don't we need the rest of the young guys as horses?
Well, Succotash isn't as smart as Murph, apparently.
I haven't seen Blackjack in literally days at this point.
I forgot I had a horse.
It's like D&D horses. Like, why bother spending money on horses in
family.
D&D?
They're family, man. You can't write them off like that. I'd never give up on Murph.
Listen,
I think it's Murph that's not giving up on you.
Gentlemen, all I know is I'm a pretty good shot, and the farther away they are, the more I can pick off. So if we want that horse to run over this way, you better do it now so I can get a couple shots off before we get mobbed.
Well, I'll whistle at him and you shoot the guy in the back because they're not looking behind them, so maybe they won't notice you picking them off.
And there is enough commotion. There are shots being fired, just people generally being shooting who knows what. That would not. It's not quiet by any means, so that wouldn't be noticed. Unless there's somebody right there nearby, right? You might want to worry about that.
If you start in the back, they might not even know they're dropping.
Shit, I got a loaded gun and new toys and a full pack of cigarettes. Let's go.
Sounds good. I guess I was like, well, I got to prime up for this. I take a big shot of whiskey out of my flask, and I'll just put both my fingers in my mouth and just whistle as good as I can.
Give me a spirit roll, and you get a Benny. I look at
Nate and John.
I got to take some of your bennies away here, but you're going to get a. Why aren't bennies working? It says you have 4. You shouldn't have 4.
So bad. We're gonna.
Yeah, that's because I don't spend them on Roll20. I just tell you I spend them. I know how many I have.
So you're going to get
before I get my rifle out, but I do spare a glance at the other gentlemen here because they look mighty concerned.
Yeah, Nate was pretty clear that he wanted to run. The idea with the bag was that we could cause an explosion somewhere else, and they would go looking in that direction. He's not comfortable engaging right now, but also he's not about to go on his own. So you guys do what you got to do.
So I like that idea of taking a shot, but just, Ash, aim it as far as you can up like the side of the mountain and not our direction. So there's an explosion. They hopefully go that way and we just go the other way. I know it's not the most heroic, but I'm not optimistic considering our fortune of late.
Hey, hold on, quick, because we're running out of time, boys. Time is of the essence. Anybody got like a bright thing or a red bandana, anything like shiny I can see from a long ways away?
John's got that sheriff badge.
Yep, pull that off.
Right. So what if I think Ash just like takes it and like puts it together with the vial and tries to find like a really like easily seen like outcropping of rock somewhere.
Oh, where you are.
And she's gonna like set it down and be like, yeah, right now.
You guys have pulled some shit.
So then I turn
like
back to Nate and I say,
yeah.
listen, I know this is a crazy plan. I ain't done this before, but I'm just winging it. I'm gonna get some shots off. We're gonna run towards the dock, try and meet up or run away. I don't know, but I'm gonna shoot those guys, and then I'm gonna shoot this thing when we're farther away. Yeah. Does that sound good, Mr. Nate? As I'm like loading my rifle.
So
yeah, he's doing the math real quick. And so pause. Yeah, that sounds like a compromise.
So here's a flashback.
You do what you got to do, Ash.
You're in a small town outside of this whole situation. This is years ago when you guys first got together. And there's Nate, smooth as he could be. You want to see something, Mr. Mayor? And he takes a coin and he goes, ding, and flips it up. And it goes, kapow, bing. And no one knows where the fuck the bullet came from. Now, I've got this friend named Ash that's back there somewhere. I think you should reconsider your decision on that bounty. And now we're back. So what do? You've got this jar of shit with the sheriff's badge. It's unfortunate you're going to lose your badge, John, with an H. You guys, you're going to shoot Ash? Was that your plan?
Yeah, I think I'm going to try and get a couple pot shots off with the rifle in this area and knock some guys off. And then once we start fleeing, I'm going to try to, if it looks like we're getting any attention or heat on us, I'm going to try and cause an explosion once we're farther away.
Okay.
With some savvy shooting.
Just like the Devil's Ruse in Old Pine Box.
So this is going to be at long range, depending on what weapon you're shooting with.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's going to be at long range.
I have my rifle.
Tester.
80 feet.
Yeah, I'm thinking either way it's going to be. So you can. Here's the way this could work for you, Ash. So it is long range, so you're going to be at -4, right? You can spend an entire turn aiming, which allows you to cover that penalty entirely. So you would shoot like a normal roll, unless you wanted to do like a called shot and hit the guy right in the head. Like as long as if you're just trying to shoot the guy, then that would work. Or if you're not worried about the range penalty, you can actually just add +2 to your roll. So depending on how you want to play that. And I'm going to say because you're a sharpshooter,
I'll definitely line up a shot.
Okay, and if anybody cross-checks me on the decision around like the target has to be stationary, this is Ash. So nah, it doesn't. So go ahead and make that. If you make that roll, as you kind of sitting there aiming, what do the rest of you guys do as she's smoking her cigarette and aiming and tracing her target?
I'm lining my sight up. I want to see these guys, and I want to watch them drop.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of tracing them with the spyglass, watching them on the horizon.
Okay. John, what about you?
I'm gonna start towards the direction we're headed.
Okay. You just kind of start picking back down.
Yeah, I kind of wave the guys off.
Okay. Dobbs, you sticking around?
I think I'm
going to
follow John.
Okay.
Teddy.
Yeah, so we can get a head start at least.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking Teddy, and I'm gonna go that way.
So you get your full movement. Obviously, it's a really rough terrain, and so you kind of have to take your time. So you're not making the kind of progress that you like to because you're jumping back down the way you climbed up. Go ahead and Ash, is that your? No, that was Smarts. Go ahead and give me your shooting roll.
Oh.
What do you say just before you pull the trigger?
Good.
What's the Ash quote before you pull the trigger?
I don't think she says anything.
No, she's just a big
I think she
drag
just
off
sits
her
there,
cigarette.
dead silent, lining up the shot, and just takes a really long drag of the cigarette, and then fires and exhales.
Well, that's cool. It comes with a roll damage button that I can click. So I've rolled damage for you because you hit. You blow his brains out his ear with that roll. He has and this is just like your typical mook. He's riding and he's shooting and riding, and suddenly he just and you see gray matter and whatever just go flying through that spyglass, Nate, and he does topple over, and his horses obviously keeps on running, veers off a little. So that's one down. There was another man chasing him. I'm going to see if he gets... It says it's rolling the dice. Okay. Damn. Okay. So he notices. He's riding, and he just kind of glances over his shoulder, at which point he looks forward. And then suddenly, the doctor in front of him has dropped something behind him, and the horse explodes. Horse legs, all four go different directions as this thing lands right underneath the horse and just blows it the hell apart. And Murph carries the doc forward. This actually catches the sort of eye of some of these people who pause. I'm going to need stealth checks, though, for those of you guys who are trying to get away without notice. Not counting Ash, that would be next turn. So Dobbs and John.
I'm not really sure Dobbs can be stealthy with carrying Teddy on rough terrain. I don't know that I can see that.
I'm going to
really
say that's
happening.
probably -3. See if you attract attention.
Not -30.
I don't think it's quite 30 on a scale of 4. That's still bad. Any bennies left? You gonna let that stand?
I only got one left. I'm gonna save it for right now.
Can I give one?
No.
As trying to help?
No.
Yeah, I'll do that.
No. Only Nate, and only once a game. So you that's based on bonds.
Yep.
So you're moving along, and you think you're being pretty stealthy, and then I'll be damned, Dobbs, if you don't hear this, thump, and you feel a nudge forward. You don't know what happened. Thump, and another one, and it almost makes you fall. What do? Something hit from behind. Is maybe somebody throwing rocks at you? You don't know.
Is there blood mist coming from over your back?
So you're right there. Actually, yes. And you know how you know it? It sprays you. So, but it's
just all on me.
It's like cold, coagulating blood. Basically, he's unintentionally using Teddy as a meat shield as he's climbing down, moving down. It's and a bullet hits and sprays you with blood, and you're like, oh! And then another one right in his ass. 2 shots. What do you do?
Protect his groin!
That's another candidate for the name of the episode. Protect his groin. So you shout that, Dobbs. What do you do?
I mean, I have him like a fireman carry this. So technically, the front of his body is in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, because I have him up over my shoulders like this. So
right. So he's kind of arched over your body. Right?
Yeah, I'm like, don't worry, Teddy. You ain't gonna feel any of them.
So you make your way down, but John,
we're all terrible people.
So you notice at this moment that there is in fact a gunman who's crested the rise, and he's set himself up, and he's getting ready to shoot again. Will you trust his aim? What do you do? Uh-oh, we just got an error. I'm sorry. We were right in the middle of something, and we had some problems. We won't talk about what those were. I swear to God, disk space wasn't the issue. It's pretty embarrassing for technical people, right? To run out of. Yeah. So where we were. Teddy's getting shot in the ass. Dobbs is making his way down the side. John's covered with Teddy's ass blood now. Teddy's dead ass blood is on John's face. Ash has just taken out one of the horsemen, and so that's good. Nate, what are you doing during all this? So you're there, and you kind of looking. What's happening?
So like I'm sort of watching. I hear the shooting over here, but I'm more focused on what Ash is doing, and so she hits that first guy and hit, and then she's like sort of reloading, and the other guy blows up, and I'm like, holy shit! But he's sort of like in that moment, sort of watching, almost like a spotter, but she doesn't actually need me. I'm just sort of it makes me feel good to participate, I guess.
Ash, what about you? So you shoot, bow, you see his head just explodes. And you're like, hell yeah. And you look at the next guy and you're just lining up the shot, and whatever the hell the doc throws over his shoulder explodes underneath his horse, blows the horse apart and the guy. What do you do?
Do I hear the other gunshots of the other gunner up on the ridge?
Give me a notice check and let's see if you can pick it apart. I'm guessing probably so. Probably so. Yeah, and definitely so. Definitely. Old school training, right? You never just worry about one target. You kind of notice out of your periphery, like, yep, somebody's shooting, and you kind of almost hear the, and then you can sort of hear Dobbs say some shit about, "Don't worry, Teddy, you're not gonna feel none of them," and just keep fucking running down the mountain. What do you do?
Yeah. So I'm gonna try and shoot the guy who's shooting at my pals.
Okay. So you turn and. Hey, welcome back, viewers, by the way. Everybody's back now. I just wanted to say real quick, sorry. That was my fault. We had a technical glitch. It's better now. We're going to... Yeah. So next round, you're going to kind of turn around and look toward that. Nate's right there with you. Nate, you see what she's looking at. You kind of look, and there's a guy there. And as he says something. You can't quite pick it out, but he's calling alarm out to what's going on. Dobbs and John, you do make it to the bottom of this hill. A third bullet doesn't hit Teddy in the ass. And you do have his ass blood still on your face. Just saying. What do you guys do at the bottom of this hill? You've got the cave entrance around the corner.
How far away is this guy from me?
Looking back over your shoulder, the tough part isn't so much how far, so much as the terrain is more weaving. There are rocks and stuff in between you guys now, so there's cover. It's going to be much harder for him to hit you. Yeah. Much harder for him to hit you, but a lot harder for you to do anything about that for him as well.
Okay.
Was I able to get a shot off at him, or did I just see him?
So that is now. So Ash, give me that roll. So you kind of turn and look. You can see he is under cover, so you're going to take a -2 penalty based on your rolls tonight, Len. Did you get the roll high all the time app? Is that what you got? Yeah.
I didn't. I did not. It's been luck. Yeah. And I don't want to jinx it, so hopefully.
James was doing some IT work. See?
Not super good.
Well, you roll a 4. Is there a penalty there? Okay, so a 2.
It would be -2.
You want to let that stand, or do you want to use a Benny?
I will spend a Benny.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and burn that.
Dobbs, give yourself another Benny, by the way, for the don't worry, Teddy, it's not going to feel anything. And John, give yourself an extra Benny for having ass blood on your face, because that's a first, I'm sure, in your life. Okay, no, so you just rattled. You shoot and you hit the rock right in front of him. You're sure that you pelt him with rock because his head goes down. And you don't see his head again. You don't know what's going on. Now, think about these old westerns, right, where the guys are moving in the rocks and the terrain. What do you do?
Does it look like my friends are like... I saw them get down to the bottom of the ridge, right?
Yeah, you take a quick glance back, and yeah, you do see that John and Dobbs are down there. You glance, though, and what freaks you out at first is Nate is right fucking there. He's like right there next to you. You're like, whoa!
Yeah, gosh, didn't even know you stayed up here. Come on, let's get going. I kind of try to like wave Nate on, because I'll be like, I'll catch up with you guys. I've got to bet this is my vantage point. Get on.
All right.
So
Nate starts heading down.
Okay, so you make your way down. So now you're going to try to hurry. You can make an athletics check, and you can kind of haul ass down. Or you can be more deliberate, in which case I need a stealth check to keep you from being a target from this guy as he finds a different vantage point.
Yeah, so Nate doesn't particularly like to be by himself. He's very much like a people around him sort of thing, but he also is aware that this guy has got a bead on some of these guys and he's firing off. So I think in this particular case, he is going to take it a little bit slower and a little bit more stealthy.
Okay.
So
give me that
stealth.
Ooh, nice. So you duck down, and where Dobbs went left, because Dobbs is a big dude and had Teddy. you go right between some rocks, and you find yourself a fantastic, were it not for the cactus, way through these rocks unseen. So you kind of stealth down. That leaves you, Ash, pretty much by yourself up there. So, quick interlude with the guys down at the bottom. What are you doing? So you've gotten down to the bottom. You hear this other shot up there.
Yeah, I'm kind of peeking over the ridge and knowing that obviously Teddy was getting shot repeatedly. Clearly somebody has eyes roughly on the area. So I'm taking a look, and if anybody starts aiming like at Nate as he's coming down, then I'm going to take shots at him. But it sounds like he was stealthy.
One thing I think we missed, I don't know why, I think I missed it. I'm just scrolling up here, is you whistled for the horse? You were whistling for the horse.
Yeah,
we
I didn't know what to roll.
I think everything went batshit crazy before we got to resolve that. I apologize. So you let's assume that you kind of were like, all right, I'm going to move down a little bit, and you kind of bracing Teddy over your shoulders. Give me a spirit roll. Spirit roll.
This ought to be funny.
Oh shit. Okay, how's that work? So the thing about
you gave
Murph,
me another Benny. Oh, I can't spend a Benny because it's a double fail, can I?
it's a double fail.
Swallow your tongue.
I know what's going to happen. So the thing about Murph loves Dobbs, ladies and gentlemen. So he stops in a way that a car stops when it hits a brick wall. The doctor's not expecting this at all. And what we see is a ragdoll flying through the air cartwheel of this doctor in the red coat, and he fucking just into a big cactus, just as Murph is like turns and looks and starts heading your way. The doctor will figure out later, but you succeeded, but I can't tell you what's going to happen there. Does Dobbs laugh? How does Dobbs respond to that? Are you like, oh?
Kinda, yeah. He's like, damn it, I knew we got good ears.
John, you see this as well, right? You see the kind of, he's small, about this big, right? So he's just like through the air and into the cactus, and the cactus waves back and forth with the doctor kind of attached to it, and he crumples to the ground.
I just shake my head.
I didn't fucking roll the dice.
This day
right?
needs to end.
You said. Okay, Ash. Back up to Ash. Nate's kind of making his way in between the things. You're wiping the blood off your face. What are you going to try to do? You have no idea any of this is transpiring.
Oh God. How far away is that guy about the guy who's trying to shoot my pals?
I'm going to say about 20 yards, and it's not the distance so much as the weird terrain. And so now he's on scene. He ducked because he knows where you are now because you haven't moved. So you kind of pelted him with bits of rock because you hit right in front of his face, and then he went away. He could be moving right next to you for right
now. Shoot. I think Ash gets a really bad idea, but now that Nate isn't there to tell her not to do it, she's just gonna do it. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna grab the explosive with the sheriff's badge on it and just start booking it towards my friends down the mountain.
Okay.
Getting ready to chuck that thing at the first person that I see who's not friendly.
So you I'm gonna ask for an athletics check. As you're kind of booking it, you're gonna grab this thing, which would be actually, if you don't have it, it would be an agility with -2.
I do have agility. Let me see. Whoops, hold on. I'm trying to get that -2 in there, and it put it in as a -20.
Oh, don't do that.
So.
That's bad.
Oh God! Still not good though.
Oh, out of my periphery, I saw Dobbs' snake eyes. So,
hold on though. That did mess up my. No, that's not correct because I have a 10 to agility.
Yeah, I'm looking at
a D10 in agility. So I don't know. By number of steps. So would it be here?
So it would be
First
D10
time I've actually tried
-2.
to use there we go.
Is that the same fucking roll? Oh, it's a soak roll. Okay, got it. So
the second one should be correct.
So you swipe this thing, and as you do, so Ghost Rock makes this kind of, and you would know, Ash, right? When you're too rough with it, it makes this kind of squeal, and you and you hear it kind of, and you know that this thing in your hand, because you can feel like this weird little vibration, like it's bubbling in your hand. You don't have much time. So you've got it, but it's not going to be pretty for long. So what do? You snatch it in your hand. You can go down, and then there's the gunner guy's up there somewhere. You don't know exactly where just yet.
I start heading down, but I'm keeping my eye trained on where I saw him last in case he peeks back out, and I just want to huck that thing at him as soon as I see him.
Okay, so give me please a notice check, and
I'm sorry that I'm the worst, everybody. I'm gonna get us all killed.
I mean, have you killed anybody yet?
Right. Dobbs just killed the doctor, and John killed Teddy, so you're good.
So we don't know the doctor is dead.
So you're moving down.
John's the only one with a confirmed kill.
As soon as you said that I was rolling really, really well all evening, all of my rolls since then have been awful.
So Ash, you're the way what I did here is I was looking for dueling notice checks. So you tied with the bad guy, right? So he pops up from a different spot. You're looking up where he was, and he's pretty wily. He's come down a little bit, and he's off to the right. You see him in your periphery, just as he sees you in his periphery. What do? You just
gonna chuck the thing at him.
You're like, oh, okay. So he's gonna try to shoot you, and you're gonna chuck this thing at him.
It's been really nice knowing all of you guys. It's probably not gonna end well.
Well, and let me know when you're ready, and I'm gonna hit enter, and we'll see how these rolls come out. Ready?
What am I rolling for this?
You're rolling for that would be probably your agility check again, I think, for thrown, right?
Okay. Do I take any penalties on this or no?
I'm gonna give it to you as is, just because it's in the moment, and I don't. Right. No, it's gonna. You're already gonna be at a disadvantage because it's agility -2, right? So because it's you don't have a athletics as a skill, then it would basically be your.
I don't have athletics.
Yeah, so agility is your core attribute. So
agility is a D10.
Yeah, so roll that with a -2 penalty.
Okay.
And he's gonna. Though you're trying to beat a 4. Benny's it? Any bennies? You gonna let it stand?
Yeah, no. I'll do another Benny.
Yeah, that's what they're there for.
Again with one.
She's trying to shake damage.
2 bennies down. I roll 20 right now.
Oh, much better.
Ooh, wow, die.
So, Ash, you throw this thing, right? As it's going end over end, the vial, his bullet strikes the end of the vial. Ding! And it makes it spin faster. And he's like, as it hits the rock right in front of him. And just blows the fucking top of this entire section off. Now, sadly, you are going to be shaken because you're watching, right, like a 3D movie as pieces of the cliff fly off. And there's this rock that starts out small, but the closer it gets to your face, the bigger it becomes. And so you're going to soak that.
Sorry, I don't know why my...
Apparently.
So...
I didn't mean to, but it was a good roll, so...
You have any more bennies or no?
I have one more Benny. This would be my final Benny to soak it, but so, I kind of don't know if I want to use it.
Up to you.
I accidentally clicked it, so I'm going to say I would not like to use my Benny on this. I'm just going to take it.
Okay, so it's an accident. So you poof, and you know the accidental Benny, you're kind of like, oh, I'm okay. No, I'm not. And you literally just kind of fall backward and will be shaken until you can kind of get through that with a spirit roll on your next action. Okay, so meanwhile, Nate's the closest. Big explosion. You glance up. You don't see Ash. And then that guy's leg lands pretty much right nearby.
Yeah, Nate has this moment where he sort of stops and like he's looking for Ash. He doesn't see her. He's looking down for his buddies, and they're doing their thing. And he's like, "What do I do?" And then just fucking leg. And he's got to take a moment to look at the leg and try to piece together whether or not this is Ash's leg or if this is somebody else's leg. And I think halfway through that thought, he realizes he really just needs to go see if she's okay. And so he sort of turns around and starts trying to scoot his way back up.
Yeah. For her. It's a nice boot, you think to yourself. Sad that they're not both there because they're pretty nice. It's still twitching a little leg twitchy. So you will come upon Ash's position next round as well. Dobbs and John, you guys are down at the bottom. There's all this sort of chaos. Murph is making his way toward you. He will be here in 2 more rounds. The doctor will not. The doctor's still picking cacti parts out of him.
Slightly delayed.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What do you guys do? Big explosion behind you. What do you do?
How close are those other guys?
So there were 15 that were kind of fanning out. At this point, they're on the other side of the rise from you, and you don't know. I mean, you put some distance in between you guys with all this kind of stealthy action, and also meat shielding.
I'm rolling nose to see, like, because Nate was coming down. Now Nate is going back up. If I see like an imminent threat that I can assist with, just to kind of like, should I stay here or should I perhaps expose myself in position?
Yeah. So you're kind of glancing around. You honestly don't see anything on this side of the rise yet. You do notice Nate kind of looking down at something, and then he starts kind of moving back up. And then you see, because that was a pretty good notice roll, a wisp of smoke up there. It's probably it looks like cigarette smoke. I'm just thinking, like, picture the camera view, this little wisp of smoke, and you're like, what's that? Dobbs, what are you doing?
I don't know that I see anything. So I got Teddy. That's just up there. I guess I'm gonna start heading towards Murph.
Okay. So you break out away from this incline, which, you know, if there is anybody kind of on the side of the hill as you're moving, you don't really notice it, right? But it would put you in line of fire because you're going out in the open. But that will mean that Murph will get to you a little quicker as you move.
And I'm gonna pull one of my pistols, which Dobbs doesn't use very often, but he does have one.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pull my pistol and kind of use. I'm gonna use Teddy to cock it.
You catch it on his bottom jaw, and his mouth is like, as you're like, yeah. What?
I have a free hand. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
we're gonna wrap this up, and then we're gonna talk about that. You and I, we're gonna have some words.
I love it. Okay, so you cock your pistol and you're moving along toward Murph. Teddy now looks like he's singing opera, if dead people did that, because John killed this guy. Now suddenly, Nate, you come upon Ash. She's there and she looks worse for the wear. Her face is bleeding, her nose is bleeding. She might have a chipped tooth. You don't know why. She might have gotten shot in the face, man. There's a lot of blood. Give me a spirit check and let's see, like, how you...
Yep. I think the whole time, like, Nate's here fucking mumbling, like, I shouldn't have left her alone. I was gone like 30 seconds, right? Like, I just turned around.
It was like almost the same amount of time you gave up on Teddy.
Oh, wow. You tell me. Like,
yeah.
Your heart's breaking, dude. This is too much. You've lost 2 people. She's dead.
Right, yeah. He's committed. Yes, exactly. She's dead. Teddy just fucking died. My friends are down there in a fucking firefight. These people, they keep me alive, but they've also become these friends. And so Nate just loses it. He drops to his knees and he just sort of lets out this sound that he's not even sure is coming from his own body. And like rests his head on her chest, and he's just like shaking visibly. He doesn't know what he's gonna do.
So Ash, the thing that's most troubling about this situation is that the cherry from your cigarette did in fact get knocked out, and it is laying right in the middle of your forehead. And it is still in fact burning like all hell. And Nate is holding you down with all his weight. Oh my goodness, oh! And she's convulsing, Nate. You're losing her right now. She's convulsing. What do you do?
I think he's like, in his head, she's going through like death throes. Right?
Yeah, she is.
She's leaving this world. And so he's just holding on to her. It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right, Ash. Just go. You're going to be all right.
It burns you so bad, Ash. It's right here between your fucking eyes. You can speak. The trouble is, though, you're choking on a chip of a tooth and a little piece of rock that took it out. So you're when you try to talk. What do you do?
I just start spitting blood on him. I'm just like, I'm trying to say, like, get off of me, but it's just not gonna. I guess this is so bad. We're all gonna die. Or at least Nate and I are gonna die. Because I guess can I use that Benny to try and unshake at this point? Because if I don't get Nate get back in his right mind, then we're both gonna.
You can make a spirit check, or you can choose to spend the Benny just to get it done with.
Okay. I'll try to do the spirit check then, because I feel like we might need that extra Benny, just because things are so bad right now.
I think that's right.
Oops. So
not great.
Oh,
no.
Jeez.
Not great.
And I think I have to read up on this, but I'm going to let you spend the Benny. Go ahead and spend the Benny. Let's move it forward. So you there's a moment, Nate. She's trying to say your name. And her last word might be Nate, right? And you're like, yeah, and you look down at her. Nate, she's got a weird black hole right there, and in your moment, in the blood and everything, she got shot right in her fucking head. And then you unshake.
That's the bullet wound.
And this chipped tooth, and you look you look down at her. Ash, what do you say to him? You come to, and you see him looking at you. What do you say?
Get the hell off me, you goddamn idiot. I told you to get out of here, and I shove him off me.
I think that is the last thing that Nate expects to happen, right? So he's sort of like looking up at her, and he's expecting some sort of like take my gun, or like some sort of like just final words, and she's just like, get the fuck off of me. And so he sort of stumbles back, like, you're alive. You're okay.
So John,
we gotta go. Get up.
You're seeing some of this, right? You see, you don't, because he's kind of bent over, so you're kind of looking up into the rocks, like you were looking for threats, right? So you suddenly see Nate go like this with his. You don't know what's going on. It's been an awkward amount of time, and he's waving his hands like this, and this guy steps out of nowhere with a pistol and puts it right to the back of Nate's head. What do you do? It's the moment you've been waiting for. John, are you with me?
Oh, sorry. I thought that was to Ash.
I was like, yeah, no, I'm talking to you. I was like, No, so again, you were down there watching for threats, right? Up in the cleft of rock, he dips down and you can't see what's going on. There's an awkward period of time. And then you see him kind of go like this. You see his head and his arms, and he's like, yeah, like he's celebrating whatever. Got it. And then this dude steps out from between a different cleft of rocks, and Nate has no idea he's there.
Well, I'm going to not even trust my handy revolver and throw an ace, hopefully, at the back of this guy's head.
Ooh, okay. You hear the... as you prepare to do that.
Yeah, it's quicker than shooting. Wow.
Ooh, yes, so you feel that energy, and you hear, just as it strikes, the guy... So, Nate, something falls on the back of you. You feel something stout and metal pushing on your head, and then something heavy just falls on you, and the reflex shoots a bullet into the dirt. He's laying on top of you. You're laying on top of Ash. It's getting real awkward. You hear, "Attaboy, John. Attaboy. One more down." He's dead. What do you guys do up there? So you glance kind of, and there's John down there turning and walking away cinematically.
Mind you, there's a card stuck out of the back of the guy's head.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nate is visibly shaken, obviously. I mean, the wave and range of emotions that just went through him in the last 30 seconds is just unreal. And so, like, he has this sort of moment where he's just like, I don't even have time to process that shit right now. And he's looking at Ash like, we gotta go. And he's like sort of trying to scoot out from underneath this guy and like trying to get her up.
You do.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I'm trying to shove the guy aside and just scramble.
You recover, so you don't loot the corpse or anything. You just that card sticking out of the back of his head is enough. So one of these days, somebody's going to put two and two together and put a bounty on this guy's head. But so yeah, you scramble down the side. Right about that time, so Dobbs, you're kind of hearing all this commotion, and there's suddenly this sound next to you. Murph's eyes are about this big, and the veins in his neck are just like, you don't know what's going on with this horse, but he is so cracked out right now. What do you do?
I'm gonna give him a hug.
I'm
gonna throw Teddy over his back and just kind of give him a hug.
Yeah. You go and you throw Teddy over over his back, and just as you do that, as he does, he pisses all over your boot. You're just putting stuff in the pack, and it's just everywhere. And you're kind of excited about that. But you've got your horse.
Yeah.
You give him a big hug. What do you do?
And I spit on him.
Spit right in his face. Nice.
Spit right in his face. Right in his face, a big wad of tobacco. And
nice.
I love you too, buddy.
So, this is so super fucking surreal to me. The thing that you guys have not been paying attention to is the airship that continues to get closer. It is now uncomfortably close. Like, right there. For Dobbs, I love you too, buddy. And you look, and this airship is just cruising right along. But it seems to be most interested in that doctor. Like, it doesn't even give a shit about, like, the guys in it kind of glance down like, I don't know even who you are. They're pointing out there at the cactus where the doctor has fallen. Lost my connection for a second. No? Okay. I'm back. Am I back?
We're all just in suspense.
Yeah, no. So you see the airship moving over. The doctor's out there by the cactus. You guys got the finger, Nicodemus? You get the map? What are you guys doing?
Are Nate and I still up on the ridge?
I'm sorry? So
I think we made our way down.
Yeah, so you guys have made your way down, scrambling between the rocks, limping as you go. There are folks up among these rocks and probably going to be coming over the ridge, although maybe they were a little bit distracted by the fact that this airship is going out toward where the doctor is. Maybe. Because that does seem to be where a lot of the focus is. All of you kind of notice it's like, why the hell is that airship not shooting Dobbs? He's right there. Dobbs, you're just looking at this thing.
Yeah, we need to take this. We need to get out and go the opposite direction of this. They're focused on the doctor, and while as much as I would like to save him, he's also clearly the creator or something of these horrible abominations, so maybe he's got it coming to him. Hell, I'm holding a skeleton that's pointing at shit. So I say we get out of Dodge.
All the while you've got this thing in your hand and it's too much.
I think, as I limp back up and John's still like holding the skeleton there, like just so like awkwardly the finger being like, I just feel like I look at it and I like narrow my eyes and I just grab it and I shove it in the bag that I have.
So
thank you.
Just as you do that, give me a notice check. Give me a notice check.
Oh, no. God, I used up all of my luck at the beginning of the session.
Yeah. So you shove it in the bag and you plink it in there with whatever else is in the bag.
Oh no.
No, it's fine. It's pointing at something in there. That's what it does, right? But you've got this bag. So Nate, John, and Ash are all together. Dobbs has moved away and has his. You see that he is maybe French kissing Murph. You're not sure. They're really close, and he's shaking him and spitting on him, and there's peeing and spitting and whatever they do to each other all the time. You gotta have a hobby, right? What do you guys do? So the three of you are there. There's the airship right over him. There's people kind of over there. How are you going to get away from here quickly? You are under cover by the rocks. He's the only one with a way out. Unless you could get all, sort
of. Are there any horses from like the guy I killed? Clearly must have ridden up. Hopefully not on an exploded horse. Any horses that we can kind of wrangle?
There's the one horse that Ash shot. And then pretty much everyone else around, anyone that would have come on horses probably parked their horses by the compound and were walking up the hill, right? They were spreading out, searching, looking in the rocks, doing whatever. So there's the one horse way out there that Ash killed, but then that's going to expose you. If you go running out there, right, you're going to be visible.
Yeah, I think we just got to skedaddle on foot.
Just play it low key and slowly progress and take cover. Yeah.
So Dobbs, so you're there. You have your moment. And you're like, God, man, this is like one of my bestest of friends. I love you, buddy. And he's kind of, in his own special coked out way. He's like, yeah, I love you too. And he's kind of looking around, and you sort of look up and you see this fucking weird blimp thing, and it's, going over toward the doctor, and you realize I'm out here in the open. You can see your friends huddled together at the base of this hill, but they're still in danger. Like, what are you doing?
So I'm gonna guess that the doctor probably took shit with him, and could it possibly be like a saddlebag or something like that hanging over Murph? So,
interestingly, yeah,
some of the doctor's equipment, maybe.
Yep, he does in fact have a bag that he has hung over Murph. And Murph right now is like the world's biggest suicide bomber. As you look, he's like, whoa, he's got these flasks in there.
Oh, this thing's above me, right? How far above me?
Yes, it is. Okay, yeah.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna reach in the bag and pull out one of those flasks and just like kind of just throw one as hard as I can at this airship.
The curse of the Black Ridge Mine was never found.
So
Right.
yeah, it's not directly above. It's kind of moved past, but yeah, it's still scary close. So you're for that you're going to need an athletics check for the throw. So that's what that will take.
I'll spend that last penny.
You're gonna spend your last penny, okay? So this is like going one of two ways. Wild die saves the day. So you, at first, right? You're like, you kind of, oh no, not yet. And then, what do you think about before you throw this one? What comes to mind? What's that last thought?
I think about when I got really, really tired of my father, and I took his favorite thing that he had and I just balled it up and I threw it in the river as hard as I could. It was his pipe that he used to smoke when he used to kick me all the time when I was a little kid. And I just focused all that anger.
And you throw it, and literally it goes up and just hits this brass fitting that attaches the blimp part to the kind of suspension rope, and it just huge explosion. The basket, literally now, the camera pans, and this guy's just about to kill the doctor. And he, as this explodes over him and fire engulfs him, and the basket drops. And we're stopping right here.